Welcome to the College Investor Audio Show, where we talk about the biggest issues impacting millennial money, from student loan debt to side hustles to building wealth. We will show you how to get out of debt so that you can build real wealth for the future.
If you are struggling financially, maybe looking for a way to keep the water on or the electricity on until your next check comes, today we want to help you out. Specifically talking about payday loans, why they suck, and some alternatives to them. Thanks for joining us on the College Investor Audio Show. If you're struggling, you might see check cashing outlets and payday lenders advertising fast cash through their payday loans. But the fast cash loans come with massive interest payments that could keep you mired in debt long past your next payday. Not just about keeping the lights on for a few more days, like keeping you trapped. So we're going to explain this, what payday loans are, and why you absolutely need to avoid them, even in dire financial situations. First of all, what is a payday loan? Well, it's basically a short-term, usually 15 days or less, high-interest, no collateral loan. Often people take out payday loans when they are facing a dire situation and have absolutely no money available to them until their next paycheck. These predatory loans are often made available at check cashing outlets and other locations where underbanked people deal with their finances. Frequently, people who take out payday loans will end up renewing their payday loan for several months until they can finally afford to pay off the loan. So why are payday loans the worst? Payday loans tend to make bad financial situations worse, with interest rates as high as 400% APR. Paying off a payday loan is nearly impossible, especially if you were cash-strapped to begin with. Think about it. Only 15% of new payday loan borrowers manage to pay the loan off after 2 weeks. The majority end up falling into debt again, with a typical borrower taking out 6 or more payday loans per year. The cycle of falling into debt, taking out a payday loan, and falling back into debt again is robbing yourself and your ability to stay afloat or to get ahead financially. If you've got bad credit, no credit, you may think that a payday loan is your only option, but that's not true. Even people scraping by can have some element of control in their financial lives. You can avoid payday loans, but you need to know how to do it. Let's take a look at that. Some awesome alternatives to payday loans. They're often a few $100s or less, these loans. So getting your hands on a few $100 might not be easy, but there are alternatives that can help you avoid debt altogether. Sell a big ticket item. If you're driving a car that's too expensive, or you have a nice bike, power tool, computer, phone, furniture that's in pretty good shape, you might be able to sell it and use the proceeds to avoid some debt. Take great pictures of the item, offer it at a fair price, post it on multiple sites. When someone reaches out to you, respond immediately so you can increase the odds of actually making that sale. Also, earn extra income. Might sound like a no-brainer, but I know that jobs don't grow on job trees, and some extra income can be hard to come by. That said, hustlers can often come up with a few $100 a month by letting people know about their services. You can offer lawn care, house cleaning, babysitting, tutoring, car detailing, any other service. Let people know that you're willing to work now. Text specific people who have hired you in the past or go door to door if you can. Who knows? You might come up with a profitable new side hustle. Negotiate an extension for your pressing bills. Okay, so if a payday in 10 days solves your financial problems, you might have room to negotiate for an extension on your payment. Many lenders, landlords, utility companies may be willing to waive your fees or offer other concessions if you approach them proactively to negotiate. Remember, they want your money, and a few days late is better than never. Please remember that. You can also ask for help from family and friends. Now, I know it's not easy to do this, but your friends and family may not have the money to help you out with a loan, but they might be able to provide some help in some other ways. Family members might be willing to feed you for a few days. A coworker might be willing to give you a ride to work, saving on gas. A parent might be willing to let you move back in for a few months while you stabilize financially. The people who love you want you to succeed. They can help you for a little bit. And when you're in a better position, you can help them or another person in need. Bad alternatives to payday loans. Payday loans have earned a bad reputation, so a lot of people, even those in dire financial straits, will try to avoid them with good reason. However, there are payday loan alternatives that are also bad, or even worse. These are some of the alternatives you want to avoid. Title loans. So title loans are short-term, usually 30-day loans, where you actually put your car up as collateral for the loan. If you don't make the payment on your title loan, you'll lose your car. Title loans can advertise lower interest rates than payday loans, but borrowers tend to get trapped in a debt cycle. In fact, 80% of title loans are renewed the day the balloon payment comes due, because borrowers just can't afford to pay off the loan. The threat of repossession is real. In most cases, it is better to default on a debt or leave a bill unpaid rather than risk losing your car. High-interest installment loans. Typically, personal loans have interest rates ranging from 5% to 36%, but in some states, lenders can legally issue installment loans with APRs as high as 100%. These are typically a bit better than payday loans, but borrowers aren't going to feel good paying so much interest to the banks. Pawn loans. Ugh. If you've got assets like tools for your business, jewelry, or maybe a musical instrument, you can put it up as collateral at a pawn shop. You have a set period of time to pay back the loan before the pawn shop keeps your items, and you keep the money. The interest rates and fees on these loans can add up, but that's not really the problem. If you can risk losing the item, you'll make a lot more money selling the item than you will pawning it. Even a fire sale of a bicycle, tool, or other household good can yield a few $100. Now let's take a look at some okay alternatives to payday loans. Of course, earning income and cutting expenses, great ways to avoid payday loans, and every type of debt, by the way. Sometimes those options aren't really available to you. So these options, while they aren't ideal, they might be better options than payday loans, title loans, or pawn loans. Strategically delay so you can pay. If you're earning a reasonable income and you're facing a cash crunch, a payday loan will only hurt you in the long run. Instead of taking out a debt that will rear its head every 2 weeks, consider delaying payment on some or even all of your bills. Pay your most pressing bill, that parking ticket, or the overdue utility bill, along with as many small bills as you can handle. Strategically delay paying your largest bill, like your rent, until you have enough money to cover it. You can handle paying a $50 late fee on your rent, this one time only, better than you can handle a balloon payment every 2 weeks. This is a strategy you may be forced to deploy if negotiating with lenders or landlords fails. Default. Defaulting on a debt or on a bill means that you don't pay it. When you fail to pay a bill, you still owe the money, but you're choosing not to pay it. After you stop paying your bill, a service provider can stop providing a service to you, cut off your water, move you out, turn off your phone, etc. But they can't make you pay unless they sue you. That's not to say defaulting on a bill is something to take lightly. Defaulting will hurt your credit score, perhaps leading to a drop of 100 points or more. Additionally, a lender or service provider may sue you. Defaulting is only considered an okay option because going deeper into debt is, of course, worse. When you get caught in the cycle of high-interest debt, your only way out may be total bankruptcy. Talk with a nonprofit credit counselor before you decide default on your debts. They may be able to help you find a way to avoid it. Get a friends and family loan. If you've got a wealthy parent, sibling, cousin, maybe a friend, you can ask for a loan. The people in your life may be willing to help you out financially if you have an excellent character and a way to pay them back, of course. These types of loans are often 0%, but it's incredibly important to pay them back for relationship's sake, for crying out loud. Your grandma may only have a meager Social Security check coming in next month. So if she stretched herself to help you out, you owe it to her to pay her back as quickly as possible. Even your rich cousin or friend will start being weird around you if you never pay them back. Float expenses on a credit card. So most consumer credit cards have at least a 30-day window before interest accrues on a purchase. If you have credit available, you might be able to put expenses on the card and then pay it off once you get paid. The habit of floating expenses, that's a tough one to break, and it's likely to lead to credit card debt. That said, credit card debt is generally preferable to payday loans, especially if you qualify for a 0% interest APR credit card. Cash advance on a credit card. If you've got credit available, a cash advance can be a lower interest way to get money immediately. The interest rate on a cash advance is typically 30 to 36% APR. And the interest begins accruing as soon as you borrow, so paying it back is absolutely critical. While not ideal, a cash advance can get you through a big crunch. Some apps allow users to take cash advances too. Rates and fees on cash advance apps vary widely. Is there ever a reason to take out a payday loan? You might be facing a really tough financial situation. But no matter the situation, a payday loan is unlikely to help at all. It is just too easy to get trapped in the cycle of high-interest borrowing when you take out a payday loan. With creativity, resourcefulness, and help from those around you, it's likely that you can avoid this debt trap. And that's what we have for you today. Oh my goodness, I hope that was helpful. Just to give you some ways to get out of the money trouble you might be finding yourself in. If you listen to this and you're like, hey, I'm good, but my friend, go ahead, send this to them. Let's help out other people too to stay out of the trap and the cycle of debt. Thanks so much for stopping by today. If you want to see links and resources, all kinds of really amazing stuff, it's all in one place, thecollegeinvestor.com.